is day 13, 14, and 15. Here's the video for those, for the 100 days of making comics. I am the Notorious LB3, and here we go. So, updates from the last video. Sketch cards have gone horrible. I have to redo this one because I had the coffee jitters. So Lara Croft will get redrawn. Starfire, which I wanted to ink or wanted to color. I realized I don't actually have the color of her skin or enough colors to make the color of her skin, so we'll have to go to Michael's or something and get a new marker for that. The other stuff I've been doing has been more sketches, and I've been live on Twitch. Pretty much streaming a lot of the sketching that I've been doing there, so you can check me out there. I don't really have a regular schedule, but I'm trying to, anytime I'm sketching any of this stuff, why not stream it at the same time? If any one of you shows up, you'll be like the second person ever to watch. But anyway, what else did we do? Tonight I am going with the wife to Boston to listen to Anthony Bourdain talk, or whatever it is he's doing. I'm not quite sure what his thing is. For those of you who don't know him, he was a chef at a French bistro in New York City. Wrote a book about the real life of a chef that basically blew up and became one of the bestsellers. It turned into a TV show for him. He's been doing a lot of writing for magazines, newspapers, but TV show took off eventually, which was No Reservations. I was on the Travel Channel. CNN picked him up to do basically the exact same show, but on CNN, and now he has more access to things with the CNN brand behind him. And I don't know, I guess I like his insight into culture. He doesn't go to the touristy stuff, he goes to just the regular people stuff where the locals would go. And I appreciate that, because I feel like I'm getting a more true experience for the places that he's going to. Anyway, he's coming to Boston to talk about his travels. I don't really know, but the wife got us tickets for our birthdays, which we both have the same birthday, so we got that for each other essentially, and that happens tonight, so we're gonna leave out of here a little bit early. So I tried to get in all of my time for 100 Days Making Comics this morning. The other thing worth mentioning is I got a t-shirt. It says fully involved, but it's got the fist. I haven't opened it yet. It's from Mark von Appen, and he actually sent this one to me in return for I have it on my wall over there. I'll post a picture up for you here in a second, but it's basically he's a speaker for firefighters and fire departments, and kind of does the speaking circuit besides being a captain on the Palo Alto, California Fire Department. He speaks the message of these big four things of, well, you'll see it on the poster, but fun speaker, real dude, totally from California, which is really, really fun, but really graciously sent, basically I did fan art for him, sent it to him, and he sent that back to me, which is awesome. So here's the picture that I did for him. Alright, next up is not really Inktober stuff, but some of the sketchy stuff. You'll look at some of the other digital sketches I showed before, but this guy is one of the poses I've been working on because I kind of like it. So I redrew him on a Bristol board because I was complaining that the stock on this I thought was too jagged and too whatever. So I made another one. And it turns out that, yeah, the Bristol's a little bit better, but not that much better. And to be honest, I have literally like 1,000 sheets of this already cut in 8.5 by 5.5. And the Bristol is way more expensive than this stuff, and the visuals are negligible. So anyway, it was a good experiment. It was worth trying. I'll save money and go with this stuff. It's actually the stuff I'm using is actually a brighter white, so I don't think you're gonna see the difference on the screen here, but actually you can a little bit. So you can see this one is the Bristol, and then this one up here, a little bit brighter white, is the Xerox color copy paper, color copy cardstock that I'm using. Which brings us to Inktober. So I've been doing, or at least in the back of my head, I've had Inktober, thinking about doing Inktober, and wanted to combine Inktober with trying to develop these characters and poses for the comic, so I can kind of do double duty, which is sort of cheating but sort of not cheating, and why not make Inktober work for me and what I'm doing now. So a double dose, and maybe the social media hit for both of these will be helpful in getting my name out there too. The other part is they're all going to be firefighters. I decided that, you know, there's so many different firefighter tools that we use, like axes and haligans and spanners and things like that, that each of these will have a different pose with a different tool, and that's how I'll keep some variety between them all and still actually further develop where I'm headed with the comic or whatever this turns out to be. So I'll post these on social media starting today to get caught up. I think, what's today? Today is the 7th, so I have 6 inked, and the 7th one I haven't inked, and I'm going to do that before, well, basically before I go to get my toe checked out, so they can tell me that I can't go back to work tomorrow yet, but before I go to see, go to Boston with the wife. So, day 1, this guy, we've seen him a bunch, no big deal. Day 2 is going to be this guy. So he's actually holding what we would call a trash rake. It's got those big poker things, so if you imagine a trash truck on fire or somebody's dumpster that caught fire, this is the tool to move stuff around. Not so sure I like the pose or expression on his face, but we keep playing with it, and eventually we'll figure it out. This is the next one. It's called the Beal Fire Axe tool, or Fire Axe. Some of them are extendable, so you can get a little bit longer reach, so they stay short like this and then they get longer, but typically a lot of officers like to carry this because it's small, and it's kind of like a multi-tool. It's a Swiss Army knife of different things. This is like a leaping, I don't know, I'm trying to get more action poses, so anyway, Beal Fire Axe tool. The next one up is radios. I don't know what he's pointing at, but I wanted to keep playing with the viewer's direction, what he's pointing at, and trying to play with that through expression with the eyes and the pointing and angle of everything. But this one was easy. We could just stick a radio in his hand, and radio is pretty important for obvious reasons with communications. I think this one was a sketch that we started from before. I'm not real happy with the actual pike pole. This is a New York pike pole, or New Yorker pike pole. It's basically a staple and has been a staple in the fire service for a really long time. But here's one of my guys holding that. These are those spanners I talked about earlier. They usually come in pairs because you need 2 of them. Typically need 2 of them to undo hose to basically help you with the couplings. But here's spanners. I don't really like the right arm all that much. Still trying to figure out how to draw hands in this sort of cartoony style, but spanners. Next one up is a hydrant wrench. So this is what we use to actually open the hydrant. There's a little notch on the side, which usually helps a little bit in trying to loosen or tighten the actual connections from our fire trucks, as opposed to the connections that are already, like that iron that's already on the fire hydrant. That's what the little hex in the middle is for. This one happens to be adjustable, so you can change the sizes slightly. No big deal. It's just a hydrant wrench. It'll turn your fire hydrants on and off, and take the couplings off of, or take the covers off of those and tighten the covers on those. Last one, which is the one I have to ink today, is a sledgehammer. Probably an underrated tool in the fire service, but sledgehammer is going to be the next one on here, so you just have to ink that. I think it's a sketch that I showed before. All these came out of those sketches, so I'm trying to reuse some of that stuff. Partly because I want to see how it looks finished, and then partly because, you know, I didn't pick out the pose because they sucked. I worked on the pose because I thought they were interesting and had some of the things we were looking for with leading the eye, showing some emotion, and having a little bit more energy and excitement in whatever frame that we put them in coming up. So I have, like I said before, I have some stories, or at least scenarios, written up. I'm going to keep plugging away at this Inktober stuff, and then, if I can find it, then I'll start working on more stuff like this, where I'm starting to combine things and personnel, and put them in various situations that sort of fit these stories, and then write in the captions, which makes it, you know, hopefully it will make it funny or educational or something like that. Anyway, 3 more days down, a whole lot more days to go. If today is day 15, so 85 more days to go, and we'll try to keep these videos as regular as I can. I just listened to the Artcasters podcasts, Screencast, Artcast, or whatever, earlier this morning. Basically, Kevin Cross said that I should stop complaining about the production time in videos, and that I can just bang out a quick 2-minute video if I really wanted to. So, true. So unless I'm at work, which I won't be because of the stupid toe, at least for a little bit, I will try to do daily updates. The weekend will be a little tricky here, but we'll see what I can do. Otherwise, expect, you know, little compilation days like today. So anyway, thanks for watching. You can check me out on Twitter and Instagram at NotoriousLB3. Check me out on Twitch. Maybe later today. I don't know. But twitch.tv/NotoriousLB3 to see some streaming stuff there, and I don't know. Otherwise, like, subscribe, comment, something. Who knows? Thanks for watching. Stay safe.